He stands in front of a tree calling out to God, I cannot see you. It says, far off in the distance, he saw a bush that was on fire. But this makes sense though, because the higher you go up, the harder it is to breathe. And the less hydrogen, the oxygen you have in the atmosphere, that means there's no water being produced. And so it becomes toxic and form another chemical. And the least little move, the least little thing thrown, the least little thing that you do can start a fire, and God starts one and it burns up the rest of the air in the atmosphere. And Moses is up there praying to God, God, what do you want me to see? Show me a sign. Do you have something to say to me? And then the fire starts. You got to be prepared that when things change, you don't get consumed with it. The Bible says God controlled it. He contained it. He can consume the bush and still not kill it. And Moses is still standing there. And God begins to write it. 10 Commandments. He starts off the very first one, not with a suggestion, but with a command. He sets pretext for what the rest of them would follow, for where you are supposed to come and be like, this is what I'm required to do. Can't do nothing else. This one I can. He said, love the Lord with all your heart, mind, body, and soul. Love the Lord. Moses is up there, maybe can't even breathe, and God is saying, love me. I wouldn't say that he's choking, but I will say it's difficult, because when he came down, he looked different than what it was when he went up. It changes you being in an atmosphere that you're not used to, and God says, don't worry about the atmosphere, just love me. It'll change stuff around you. Still be consistent in what I call you to do. Not lead the people, not set slaves free, not be in a place of being like a different mentality. What I need you to do is to love me. We forget that. You know that? We forget my first assignment ain't to preach. We forget my first initiative ain't even for the family. We forget that we're not called to like build and heal and set free and like compose of it and make it and create it. We're not. We're called, first of all, love God. So I know it's difficult for you. I like that. I like that. Even when it's difficult, love me. Even when it seems like it's suffocating you, God says, love me. Even when there's people that were with you, couldn't handle where you were going, so they stayed away from you, you're required to love me. Because even when it's on fire, it's even when it don't make sense, even there's stuff that like changes the dynamics of the relationship. First commandment, love me. And when he came down the mountain, he's carrying it, and the people are worshiping something different. So Moses broke it. Not the commandments, the stone that possessed the imagery of the finger of God, and he broke it. Sometimes people don't even deserve it. So break what they abuse it. Moses said, I'd rather break it than to give it to people, the hand of God, who would misuse it. So when you've come to a place where the atmosphere is only different, God has been restricted, break it. You're not meant to preach it. You're meant to do it. So break it. Break the requirements that you have to be perfect. Break that. All these laws and rules and regulations, but don't forget the finger that wrote it, the hand that gave it. Don't forget the one who commissioned you to be greater, to come up higher, and then to go down. And I don't think it was even for the people. And this is for you. He saw him write it. So the people didn't even deserve it. They didn't see value in it, so he broke it. Moses said, before I prostitute it, before I give it to people who would misuse it, who wouldn't even see it, I'd rather stick with the encounter, because people can't take that, but I'll break what it gave me in case they wanted to prostitute it. Moses said, I'll break it. Because what you encounter up there, the more people you get around, it begins to suffocate down here.